We're coming to you this week from Jaipur, and with us is the all-new 5th generation Honda CR-V. The Indian market has had this car since 2003 and we've had 3 generations so far. But this one perhaps is the most significant one. Why? Well, it gets a diesel engine option for the first time, and in another first for Honda, it has a third row option as well. But before we get to that, let's check out the exteriors first.
When it comes to design, Honda has adopted an evolutionary approach. The SUV has grown in size and now looks more muscular. Up front, there are smart-looking full LED headlamps flanking the grille, which features a generous usage of chrome. The side profile is characterized by beefy wheel arches filled with two-tone 18-inch alloy wheels. L-shaped tail lamps with LED detailing at the back round off the exterior of the 5th generation CR-V.
The latest iteration of the Honda CR-V comes with a very modern setup. There's an all-digital instrument panel up here, a nice 7-inch touchscreen display with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And there are a couple of standout features as well. One, there's something called the driver attention assist, which gauges your alertness levels, and via a bar graph on the display, it tells you if you need a break or if you're sleepy and things like that.
The other highlight is Honda's Lane Watch. A camera mounted on the left side outside rearview mirror feeds the central display, showing vehicles behind the car that may otherwise get hidden by blind spots.
In terms of cabin quality and overall fit and finish, the car does really well. It gets a nice use of soft touch plastics over here and on the door panels, although the ones lower down are not soft touch, so it feels a little tacky, but nothing to complain about. There's nice use of wood trim over here. It's not glossy, so it looks classy. And the other thing that it's really clever about the cabin is the storage spaces. So you get your space for your key, your cup holders, and there's a huge space over here which can be arranged as per your preference. You can slide this in and out, and this one opens up as well, and this can actually be removed completely, so you can store something as big as an iPad or something like that over here. And this one also has your USB ports, HDMI, and 12-volt power sockets. The increased wheelbase translates to more space in the back. There's ample headroom, and legroom is also sufficient and can be adjusted by sliding the seat back and forth. But that's only if there's no one sitting in the back, otherwise they'll have no space left. The other nifty feature here is the addition of 2 USB ports for the rear seat occupants. They get dedicated AC vents. And there's a panoramic sunroof which gives the cabin a very airy feel overall.
Only the diesel variant of the Honda CR-V will be available with the third row of seats, lending it a total seating capacity of 7. The petrol variant is a strict 5-seater. But that frees up more space in the boot. With the third row folded, the diesel variant has a 472 litres of cargo space, while the petrol has 522 litres.
One of the main talking points about the 5th generation CR-V is the addition of the last row of seats. Now, it does add to the practicality of the car, but I'm not a very tall individual and my knees are already touching, so most adults won't be very comfortable over long journeys. So I would still suggest you use this for luggage or seating kids at the most. But one good feature is that even the last row occupants get dedicated aircon vents, which is a nice touch.
Buyers will get a choice between 2 engine options: a 2-litre petrol paired with a CVT and a 1.6-litre turbocharged diesel engine paired with a 9-speed automatic transmission with power and torque outputs of 120 bhp and 300 Nm respectively. We've already talked about the CR-V diesel at length in a previous episode available on our YouTube channel, so we'll stick to the petrol for now.
What I'm driving right now is the petrol variant of the Honda CR-V. This gets a 2-litre naturally aspirated engine with 154 bhp of maximum power and 189 Nm of peak torque. Unlike the diesel, which gets a 9-speed automatic transmission, this one has a CVT. Now the CVT usually tends to have that rubber band effect wherein when you press the throttle aggressively, it just drones a lot and there's not much in terms of forward movement. But this one actually masks that really well. I mean, out on the highways, even when you want to pull out a quick overtaking maneuver, it does a nice job, but you do feel that need for a little more grunt from the engine. There is no all-wheel drive on offer here. It's only reserved for the diesel variant, which some might find disappointing, but then Honda expects the diesel to account for the bulk of the sales, so you see where they're going with the variant distribution.
The petrol variant feels quicker than the diesel, and it has low NVH levels as well. As expected though, it's thirstier. Honda claims an overall fuel efficiency of 14.4 kilometers per litre for the petrol variant. The diesel, on the other hand, delivers 19.5 kilometers per litre in the two-wheel drive configuration and 18.3 kilometers to the litre in the all-wheel drive format.
What impresses about the CR-V is the ride quality and the fact that it feels very car-like to drive. Despite riding 208mm off the ground, it doesn't roll around too much in corners. Suspension has been well tuned for high-speed driving. I mean, we've been driving out on the highway and it's soaking up the bumps really well. I mean, we've driven over some really big potholes and haven't really felt the effect that I was expecting. And the steering, I like the steering because it's nice and light to use at city speeds, and it weighs up well when driving out on the highway.
The addition of a diesel engine option and an extra row of seats has definitely made the Honda CR-V a better package overall. There is a healthy list of features on offer. The cabin is comfortable and the car scores high on refinement. Sure, the CR-V doesn't have the most powerful engines in the business, especially the diesel, but this may not be a major concern for those driving mostly in the city or those who prefer being driven around by a chauffeur. While the petrol variant does impress on many counts, with 90% of the total sales in the segment coming from diesels, it is the CR-V equipped with a 1.6-litre oil burner that will dictate the SUV's success in the Indian market. That and the price, which we will find out when the CR-V goes on sale next month during the festive season.